This episode is powered by pODDcast.
What's in today's episode, true believer?
Today, we looked pODDcast.
Wah! Excelsior! Roll them credits!
We're back. We started. We're here. We're in episode 8, so we're 8 episodes in. And I said by episode 10 we're going to have a name for the show, and I think we're pretty much set on. It's been BestowCast for a while now, so I think we got 2 more episodes till we really decide. But I feel like we're finally getting in that podcast groove where we're not cutting out as much dead air and stuff. So tune into this episode. We're going to bring back the podcast deck. So, the pod decks. So we got...
Should I close my eyes and pick one?
Well, let's describe it for the people that are listening. We've got the red deck, which is Would You Rather. We've got the green deck, which is What the Heck. And again, if these questions get too saucy, I am not playing this game with my daughter. Just putting it out there. We've got the episode deck, which... maybe we should lean towards this one because I don't know we don't have any decisions on what segment 2 is going to be about. So maybe we can make all of it, the whole thing about this. So maybe that. And we have this unopened one. This is the interview deck. I actually think I should pull this out of rotation until we actually start doing interviews because I kind of got this for, either me or Mr. Lobo. Proper grammar, either Mr. Lobo or I to use if we either go back to, Mr. Lobo already does a bunch of interviews on the show, but we may restart creative continuity. And this might be a good thing to have for that. So I'm actually going to pull that out of rotation, which is the one we did before.
We did the Would You Rather.
We did the Would You Rather. So should we pull the Would You Rather out of rotation since we already did one?
We could do a What the Heck as a starter thing and then go to an episode 1.
So we can do What the Heck. Maybe we do What the Heck for segment 1 and an episode deck for segment 2. I kind of feel like I have to see what the episode decks. How about we do an episode deck for segment 1? Mm-hmm. And if it's large enough, then we'll carry it into segment 2. And if it isn't, then we'll do a What the Heck for segment 2. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So we'll break into this. And I remember we were looking at some of these. We peeked at a few of them beforehand, and it's like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
We didn't peek.
So.
Yeah, they're fun. Fun cards. Fun cards.
Shuffle that deck. Shut up. You're killing time. Do I have to sing? Da 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 da. Wait, is that a copyrighted song? Are we gonna get flagged? Why did you shuffle it that way? Now you got them all upside. You got them right side up. And, oh my God! You will never make it in Las Vegas. And I'm just gonna. And I'm not going through and fixing those cards, so they're just gonna stay upside down. The OCD is gonna God. I can't bridge. I can do this part, but I can't do the
I can't
bridge
do
part.
that part.
I can barely do the first part. You saw I missed.
As we've already.
So God damn it! It's already upside down. Started. All right. So I'll since I did the shuffle, you do the pick.
We're gonna do this tarot style.
Okay. What? All right. You explain it. And you have to explain it visually. So. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Spread the cards out.
Okay.
All of the cards out.
Do you pick one and then I pick one and then? How do we?
Well, I'm gonna have you pick one because.
Okay, you're gonna have me pick one. And I get to pick from the right side up ones or the upside down ones.
Okay.
Oh, my OCD is kicking off overtime right now.
Shut up.
All I see is upside down cards.
Shut up.
All right, I'm gonna.
No.
No. All right, tell me when. Tell me when.
You have to create a connection with the cards.
Oh, okay.
Just talk to them in your head.
Okay, I'm already connected. They're pod cards, and we're doing a podcast.
I just punched you in the face.
That's all right. I'm used to it. You punch me. Okay. You beat me up when the camera's not rolling.
Yeah.
Ow! 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 Elder abuse. Okay. Maybe. All right.
Talk to the cards in your head.
Okay. Hello, car. Oh, wait.
In your head.
Mm-hmm.
In your head.
It was in my head. I hummed and it vibrated.
No.
Okay. I said it. But if I say it in my head, the people listening to the show, I have to do something. How about I whisper it into the mic so you get it?
All right.
Hello, cards. Okay.
You're terrible.
What? I made a connection. We produce a
These
comedy
cards-
show and I gotta do comedy stuff.
These cards feed your energy. They can feel it. They
Uh-huh.
know
Yeah,
everything.
I can already feel the gnawing at the base of my skull right now. Okay.
They know everything.
Okay.
They are.
All knowing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Now look at the cards.
Okay.
You're
Mhm.
gonna pick 4 that speak to you.
This one because it's upside down. This one because it was its Siamese twin and wanted to come with. This one because it's upside down. And this one, I didn't. The last one happens to be upside down, even though I didn't try to. So we got 3 upside down ones and 1 right side up.
Alrighty.
Now you're cutting it. All right.
Now these don't look at them.
Well, I'm already gonna know if one's upside down and the rest of them, or 3 of them are upside down, one's right side up. I'm gonna know which one's which. Okay.
I'm gonna shuffle the cards.
She's shuffling the cards. Okay.
Shuffling the cards.
All right. We're gonna have to carry this over into segment 2. This is this is like too much setup for what's gonna be ultimately a letdown. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Out of these 4
Out of
cards.
those 4 cards. Mm-hmm.
Which one's your best friend?
Which was like best friend? Like how do you like go to the movies with or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I take this one to the movies.
You
with
think that
me.
one's so real? You think that
Yeah,
one's
this one
reliable?
I go on a dinner date with. This one I would, I would let sit in the stall next to me in the bathroom, and this one's giving me glary, googly eyes, and it makes me uncomfortable. So
Okay. All right, I can see that.
again,
Put
a
these ones
comedy show, so I gotta provide some sort of commentary.
ones right on top.
Okay, so there's this card.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
all right.
What'd you pick?
Huh?
What'd you pick?
Probably the worst card. You probably should get the other 3 cards out just in case.
They're right here.
All right, yeah, put them out just in case. Because which one? That one's the one that's giving me glaring eyes. That one I'd
eyes.
sit in the toilet with, and this one I'd take to dinner.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I might need one of those other cards. Wait, so I'm picking it to read to you, right? 5 things that you're excited about right now. 5.
Sleeping.
Okay.
Sleeping.
Okay,
Sleeping. And
okay.
sleeping.
I'm glad we got 4 cards because this is really going to be. Let's craft an entire episode off of this thing, and I don't think that's going to work. 5 things I'm excited about right now. I'm excited about reading one of those cards over there.
Good choice.
I'm excited that. I don't know if I'm excited about this. Can I be excited? I'm hopeful that one of those cards don't suck. What am I excited about right now? I'm excited about how much content we turned out today. We did a lot of content, so I'm excited about content. I'm excited. Let's see here. I'm excited about right now all the listeners who are going to www.patreon.com/BestowTV and are picking out their sponsorship. I am excited about that right now.
Link in the description for people who are on YouTube.
And people who are on YouTube, the thing is www.patreon.com/BestowTV. Yeah. So that's the 3rd thing I'm excited about right now. The 4th thing I'm excited about right now, as much as I like doing production, we are at the tail end of the day because I am tired and I want to take a nap. I'm actually, Stanley is like sitting on his back. For those who can't see him, he's sitting with his legs in the air. I so want to do that right now. 5th thing is I'm excited for Stanley doing that.
Yeah.
So how's that for 5 things? I didn't think I was going to come up with 5 things,
Good
and I
5
came up with 5
things.
things. Yeah, especially the 4th thing? No, the 3rd thing. So we'll put it right there face up so we already. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now what do we have? We still have 5 minutes left. So, wow. So this is going to be an entire episode, just 4 of these, 4 of these, and a what the heck at the end, right? How about the guy that I want to be poo pals with?
Alrighty.
And I'll let you read that one. So this is the stink eye one, and this is the I will take to dinner someday.
These are like truth questions for like truth or dare.
It's like truth or dare. It's truth minus dare.
It's truth or truth.
Truth or more truth.
This one, the bathroom buddy says, share the craziest thing that's ever happened to you.
That I picked a card out and called it a bathroom buddy card.
I told you, they know. They know.
If you want to answer that, I will come up with a better. I mean, that's the funny answer, but I think I have a better answer.
Crazy. What do you? I mean, I guess that depends on what you like classify as crazy.
Ever happened to you? Ever happened to you? Okay, so I can do ever happened to you. I have to think about it for a while.
Yeah. What do you classify as crazy? Like weirdest or funniest? What?
Well, I can.
End of that.
The craziest
spectrum?
thing that happened to me that involves you.
Oh boy.
Is when you were teeny tiny and we went to the Renaissance Fair. And they were giving out the tickets for the puppets, for the clay puppets, and you're like, and they gave you the tickets, so it was for a raffle, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a dragon, and we're trying to let you down easy. We're trying to explain to you where it's like, hey, it's a raffle. They may not pick your number. If they don't pick your number, you're not gonna get this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know. Oh no, I'm gonna take home a dragon today. He kept telling us, I'm gonna take home a dragon today. And I think we were like one of the last ones pulled. And Riley got to take home a dragon that day. And there's a reason why we call Riley lucky. And when it comes to like buying like thing like lottery tickets or whatever, it's like, oh, Riley has to push the button and Riley has to. I mean, that's happened a couple other times too. There was a couple other times where it's like, oh, Riley's like, oh, I'm gonna win that thing, and you just win that thing. So there you go.
The witches know.
The witches know.
I've been manifesting since I was a toddler.
Yeah, the witches of the Hawaiian, the witches of the Hawaiian mailman, your true father.
Oh, okay.
Did I take the wind out of your sails? Is that are you just gonna go ditto on that one?
Well, I can't remember that ever happening, so I guess that's not the craziest.
Oh, we've always told you about it. I mean, you're probably little enough to not necessarily remember it, but we've always told you that story, and we have the dragon.
It's familiar in the sense that a story that you've been told, like, pretty much your whole life is familiar. It's not familiar like a memory.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely remember literal, like, 2020 now. It's not that far.
Honestly, I don't think a lot of us can remember 2020.
Like 2020, I think my memory went back to about maybe late 2018, but nothing before that. Everything before that is gone. It's gone. I can't remember any of it.
Somebody forgot to break the record tab on your VHS tape.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I still don't know what you classify as craziest.
I think I have a crazy story. Now, that was this crazy story I was sharing was about you. I think the crazy story about me would actually go to that guy over there, Stanley. Because we were in the opening stages of just starting Bestow TV. Bestow TV at that time was still Bestow Productions, which was my commercial entity, was making television commercials. And I wanted to do stuff more so with comic creators and celebrities and stuff like that. And when Tommy was with the group, I was like, oh, I'm going to rank things on here of things that I want to have on my list. And Stanley and Kevin Smith are two things on, and both of them have pretty much manifested. Because it was like, oh, I want to do an interview with Stan Lee. And when we shot Chicago, which was the first time we worked together, and the next time was Motor City Comic Con in Detroit, Michigan. And Tommy's like, yeah, okay, we got Stan Lee. Like, really? And it was you had to persevere through the day. It was not an easy task. And when we got there, like, we had to wait to the end of the day, and Tommy was ready to throw up arms and quit. He's like, oh, this is just taking too long. They were just stringing us along and stuff. And it's like, no, we're here. we're going to do this. And, you know, it went through. I mean, you know, if I were to count by views on YouTube, there's not too many views on it, but to me, it's special. It's a special, and I'm never going to be able to do that with that guy again ever in my life, at least until after the grave. But all right, what do you have?
Well, I still don't know what you classify as craziest.
I don't know. I mean, that was pretty crazy. I mean,
I can't remember.
That was luck. The other thing I kind of told you was kind of luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to. I could tell you a bajillion one stories. I could give you a lot of crazy stories. Your dad has a lot of crazy stories, but your dad's memory goes back to 1980 sometimes. God. That's one trait that you didn't carry from the Sanders side of the line. That seems to be the other end of the family.
I didn't get it from
memory.
Mom either. Mom has a good memory.
She has. I don't know. She claims that she's got bad memories a lot of time too.
She says that she has. She says that she has a bad memory, but then she'll be like telling me story. Oh, man, just put his tail right in my mouth.
At least do his tail and not his. Is it from Bryce Lee, the Space Kitty?
Brycey. He handsome.
Do you wanna go out to commercial and take some time to think about it, and we'll.
I have funny stories. That's about it.
Funny story? How about when we come back from break, Riley will give a funny story.
This episode is powered by pODDcast. pODDcast are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and have more meaningful conversations, you're going to want to check out pODDcast. Now, if you want to get 10% off your order right now, you can go to pODDcast.com and type in coupon code. What's the code?
Bestow TV 21.
Yes, that's the code. Check out pODDcast.com. Take your podcast to the next level.
Wow, that was an interesting commercial, don't you think? Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't an interesting commercial...
That's my favorite commercial.
If it wasn't an interesting commercial...
Unless it was a bad one.
If it wasn't an interesting commercial, that was an interesting just blank black spot. That 5-frame blank black spot that I put in there. We're joined by Bryce Lee, the Space Kitty, here. And Riley is going to give us the silliest story?
Yeah, I guess it's funny.
Yeah, we'll accept it. It's acceptable.
I can't remember anything else, so it's literally the only thing. Okay, so this happened, I think, last year, my freshman year. And when this was before chronic diarrhea, it was pretty much, I want to say it was closer to, like, the middle, not really the beginning of the year, but not really towards when everything got shut down. But I was walking with my friend, and everyone else was playing sports, and we had the option to walk, so we were walking and just like talking and sharing a bunch of stories. And I forget exactly what happened, but we were like talking like jokes and stuff, and I was like gonna go and like talk to the door because that was the closest thing that we were to, and I wanted to say something, and I walked up to the door and I went, "Yo, door!" Well, I didn't say door. I went, "Yo, you cute!" And at that moment, 2 girls walked by the hallway, and I panicked. I looked at them and I went, "Oh wait, not you."
well, maybe away. You. I don't know which is worse.
And we walked away. So while I was nothing else was there. It was just the door and these 2 girls who were walking down, and all they heard was me going, "Yo, you cute," in their general direction, and then seeing them and going, "Oh wait, not you," and then walking away.
What about Bryce? Do you think we'll accept that? He don't care. He decided that he's going to get up here and blow his coat right in the middle of the scene. There's like I can't even wave my hand. All right, so since I claim that one's the stink eye one, the stink eye one should be last, and hopefully we have enough time to get to the stink eye one. Yeah. So I guess it's my turn too. All right. This one might be a hard one for you. Play trivia about your industry. I play trivia about my industry all the time. I'm in entertainment. It is very easy to do trivia about my industry. However, how big you want to go is like Hollywood industry, or do you want to go indie industry? Like I've got trivia things. I think I got trivia things for indie. That's a tough one. I don't know why I take this one out to a dinner date, because this one I would probably...
This one's like fancy, like things you would ask on a dinner date.
This one's more like the stink eye one, I feel like. I feel like this one's just one that's like, I'm going to take your podcast and I'm going to flush it. I'm going to give it to the one that's sharing the toilet with you, that's in the stall next to you, and I'm just going to deep six it. Okay, I have a little bit of trivia, but do you have? I mean, I don't even know.
What would you consider my industry?
I mean, your industry could be as a student.
Yeah.
Your industry could be as an independent producer, because you do kind of work with me and stuff like that. So, your industry maybe in like the geek culture stuff, because you've been with us for a lot of the anime art and stuff. It could be art. I mean, I'd feel any of that would be acceptable. I mean, you're not gainfully employed, so you don't have an employer and stuff like that, and you're not really at a stage of your life where you're, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And there's lots of us that we're already in our 30s and 40s, and we don't even want to do. Now we're going to sit right in the middle of the thing. But I'm gonna go back, because this is an interesting tidbit. So where we live, and you know this, where we live is where Thomas Edison installed the first hotel with a light bulb. The Edison. All right, let me. The people that are like watching this are trying. Probably people that are at their computers and they're actually leaning to look around the cat, which is never gonna work. So anyway, the person who used to be in this area, he did like the first. I think the Edison Hotel, is the first hotel that was wired for electricity. Whereas in Edison, Florida, in Sunbury, Florida, which is funny because it's Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and Sunbury, Florida. In Sunbury, Florida is where he tested the first light bulb, I believe, and in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, is the first hotel that was wired for electricity. But Thomas Edison was also involved with filmmaking, and he was a filmmaker. And he had done. People have listened to the podcast with me and Mr. Lobo. I believe I've already talked about this trivia. So not spoilers, but sorry for repeating the exact same thing. I was just kind of inspired by this documentary. But basically, like, if you wanted to make a movie, you had to go through Thomas Edison. If he didn't like you, if you weren't rich enough, if you weren't blank, if you weren't this, if you weren't that, you weren't making a movie. And they had like a lot of ethical things, like, there's, if you're making a movie, you can't include nudity. And one of the things, the trivia part of this where I find it inspirational is that there was a guy, and I guess, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but they wanted to make movies. They weren't able to go through Thomas Edison to make the movies. To make movies with nudity, you attract an audience. So it's kind of a way that to undermine them and get an audience to kind of come in. And their way, the rules was that you can't have nudity in your movies. So what they would do is they would have these models, and I believe this model, I think that there's several, like, I think there's statues in New York and in Rome and so on that are molded from her. So she did nude poses, and then they model them. I think, like, maybe don't quote me on this, but like there might be like a statue of Athena and stuff like that that's molded after this woman, and that was her thing, is that she was a nude model. And they got around the rule was that if the model was standing still, it didn't count because she was standing still, therefore she was posing. And that was how they got around this nudity clause, and how they were able to produce what technically would be an independent production outside of the system. Weird fact, But there you go. It's a thing.
Okay.
Okay? Got something?
No, I don't know. There's
yeah,
not.
that's kind of a tough one for you. It is a kind of a...
I don't have really anything.
Okay.
I watch a lot of documentaries
Okay.
about like a lot of things that I'm interested
How about,
in.
is there any trivia about your favorite anime?
I think I watch anime trivia. Oh, I literally don't know
You
anything.
don't know anything about, like... Geez, like the last episode I gave you trivia where it's like, oh, Spike is the voice of Wolverine. There you go. It's like nothing like that.
No. That
Nothing.
kind of stuff is the stuff that I will like learn about and it just won't stick. Like I don't process
That stuff
any
is
of that.
what math? Get out of here! You need you need to know about this stupid.
Oh, yeah.
You have to know about how people usurped freaking Thomas Edison and boobs.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the only thing that I was thinking about that whole time is the fact that I'm not processing any of it.
Oh, so you're gonna be rewatching this?
Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, oh! And then I'm gonna forget about
And then you're gonna watch it again and be like, oh!
yeah.
And then you're gonna watch it again and be like, oh, what? That's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And then you're gonna watch the documentary that I'm talking about, and I was completely wrong about everything. And you're like, yeah, that's full of shit. All right, so I guess you get the stink eye card. So unless you can come up with anything, no trivia about favorite book, favorite story, favorite movie, any trivia about Stranger Things. Not at all. No trivia. Any trivia about Marvel movies? Oh, I could kill you with trivia with Marvel movies. Y'all probably hate me when I throw a lot of trivia out about Marvel stuff.
I don't know why that kind of stuff is just not the stuff that I process. It's not been anything that I've like ever processed. I've never.
So the trivia is that Riley can't process anything.
I can't process
trivia. So there we go. So if I ever have to play a Trivial Pursuit, I do not want Riley on my team.
No.
Or I do want to play against Riley.
Yeah. You want me on the.
I mean, wasn't there kind of a piece of trivia because we were talking about how I love Seen It, but everybody hated playing about Seen It, and you're like, yes, somehow you made your way through Seen It and beat everything. Like I think it was like the Marvel, might have been the Marvel movie one, the Marvel Seen It.
Well, like when I see things in front of me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know that, and then I'll be able to answer it. But when there's nothing there, like specifically like questioning me about what's going on, or if I haven't read up on it in at least the past week, it's not in my brain.
Okay. Well, you get the stink eye card then. I will accept whatever, except because I can't sit here for another 4 minutes. People can't be listening to probably an error screen. Our elevator music that we've probably beaten to death by this time. All right, what do we got? Yeah, what do we got? All right, she's laughing. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I see her in the playback. I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay.
Is it dirty? No. Am I gonna have to draw a new card?
This is the stink eye card.
Okay. Is it really stinky?
Why I quit blank.
Why I quit blank.
Yep.
Why I quit blank.
Yeah. Why'd you quit
Blank.
blank?
I quit a lot of things. I have a tendency not to. I've quit. All right. Here's like an easy one. I've quit bad jobs because they're horrible and they've treated employees bad and everything else. And they tell you never to do it. They tell you to not burn bridges and stuff. I've walked out of jobs because they're just complete insufferable assholes. And one, I will actually go into a story for why I quit blank, was that there was a store, or there was a place that we were working where they had no idea of management of space They thought that if they, because it was a factory, they were producing widgets, and they were producing more widgets than we had space for. And widgets were ending up not where they belong. They didn't end up in the bins where they belong. They ended up on the floor. And there was nothing I could do about it. You know, the boxes and bins that the widgets had to go into were full. You know, the widgets and the wingdings were getting mixed together and stuff. But the things were getting full, and you had to keep the line clear. That was the number one rule, that the line always had to be cleared. And they got super mad at me, and they're like, you know, you need to put the widgets in you gotta keep the widgets and wingdings separate. You put them in their boxes, and you know, and you need to keep them off the floor. And I'm like, you're working us at breakneck speed so that the bigger bosses can get their extra money for this, and while us grunts are just kind of, you know, doing whatever. But it's just a matter of space. It's a matter of math. It's, you know, it's mathematically improbable of what you're asking of us. And he goes, the boss, he wasn't a big boss, he was a sub boss or whatever. He goes, no, that's not my problem. And I leaned in and I'm like, well, it is now, and left. And as a knee-jerk reaction, they fired the guy next to me, because they couldn't fire me because I left. They fired the guy next to me. And I was chatting with him, and he's like, oh yeah, they got mad because they couldn't do anything. They're mad because you left, they couldn't do anything, so they fired me. And I wrote a really long apology letter and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want my job back. You know, I don't want to be in a position where you guys are mismanaging things and you just don't understand stuff. But this guy had nothing to do with what I did, and it's not fair that you fired him, and I'm asking for his job back. And they said, no, he's still fired, but you're welcome to come back at any time. I'm like, done, no. I never went back to that place. I'm like, no, I'm good. I was like, that was unfair. That was really bad that you're just firing somebody just because you're mad at me. And it's like, and then you're just gonna accept me. And it's like, because they're like, oh, you're a good worker and everything. But it's like, yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
Now, why did you quit Blank?
It depends. I quit.
Did that give you enough time to think of something, or?
No, I was too busy
listening.
I was too busy focusing on you and trying not to just stare off. And then you'd eventually ask me a question, and I'd be like,
oh yeah. So why'd you quit listening to me in that last statement?
I didn't.
Well, then that's not feasible.
I've been listening to you this whole time. There's been a couple things that I've quit.
I mean, at your age, there's not very many.
There's not many
things that you really can quit. I mean, you quit soccer, and we wish you stayed in soccer.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I mean, I quit soccer because I'm literally, like, fucking dying. I don't know how to limit myself, so I end up pushing myself to be the best that I know I can be, and it really takes a toll on me because I don't accept anything less of myself.
Okay.
Because I'm a screw up for everyone else. That's all I'm told. That's all I'm told, guys.
Not by me.
But I'm never enough for people, so I've not ever accepted low from myself. And because of that, a while ago, I actually really genuinely quit doing art and all of that kind of artsy stuff that I really do enjoy, because things weren't going the way that I expected them to be, and I couldn't do it right, and I couldn't do it how I saw how it was.
I get
in
that.
my head.
To me, I want immediate results. Mm-hmm. And if I can't, there's a reason why. I mean, I can draw. The reason why I choose not to draw is there's more immediate results in doing video for me, or doing photography work, than there is in drawing art.
Yeah.
So you kind of hold yourself to a false standard.
There were a whole bunch of my art friends that I'm still friends with now. They were all like, "Oh, you were doing so good, genuinely doing great." And I couldn't see that because things weren't how I expected myself to be at. And so I was like, no, bye. And it was genuinely like pissing me off really bad. I'd pick up a pencil and I'd try to draw and it wouldn't be how I expected myself to draw it, and I'd get really mad and just stop.
But you didn't really quit on the long term because you just sat here.
I'm bad.
You exchange mediums where it's like you're not really a pencil and paper kind of person. You're
more
digital.
So
you're sitting there with a stylus and the art pad. So it's more like you quit one medium but traded it for another.
I did digital art for a really like I draw it on paper and then I transfer it to digital, and then I just dropped it for the longest time. But now I still hold myself to a really high standard because I don't want to be less for myself or for anyone else. But at the same time, I'm like, I can do what I can do, and I can't really expect things to be perfect. I can't expect perfection out of myself.
Right.
Because I don't expect perfection out of anyone else. I expect people to have flaws and make mistakes because that's how you learn. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's weird to describe.
I think you described it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody who didn't think that was described enough, write in the comments below.
Yeah, tell me how fucking terrible I am.
No, this is the internet. Don't tell them that. They're going to say that anyway. Don't feed the trolls, as they say. And I believe that is it for this episode. So please join us at patreon.com/BestowTV. Join us in the Discord. We would like to incorporate Discord into future episodes. Maybe get some Q&A out of the Discord group. And in order to do that, we need people to fill that room. Mm-hmm. So join us on Discord. And until next episode, see ya.
Bye.